Friends, welcome back to the Sawmill. It is a hot day in Tennessee. I think the high is supposed to be 98 today. It was almost 100 yesterday. Some really hot days here this August in Tennessee. They say we got a heat wave that's coming through all week long, but the humidity is actually not too bad, so I don't mind it as much. The humidity is what really gets you in Tennessee. When people talk about moving to Tennessee, and they'll reach out to me, they'll see these videos and talk about how nice it looks. It is a nice place to live, but in the summertime, the humidity is just terrible. My favorite time of the year in Tennessee is fall and pretty much winter and early spring. I don't like summer anymore. The humidity is just too hot for me. I don't like it. But I got work to do, so I got to get it done, no matter if I like it or not. So it is what it is. So a few quick announcements here, friends. We'll get started. I'll be at the Paul Bunyan show this year. Had to grab my phone so I can give you guys the right dates. That's in Cambridge, Ohio. It's a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. I won't be there on Sunday. I'll be there Friday and Saturday at the Wood-Mizer booth. It's located in the main field. You can't miss it. They got giant Wood-Mizer tents and the sawmills. And Log Right is usually right beside them, so I'll be in that whole area right there for those 2 days on Friday and Saturday. Friday, the time of the show is 8 to 5, and Saturday is 9 to 3. And this is in Cambridge, Ohio. I'll leave a link down below to their website. You can look up the address and kind of find out where it's at as far as in relation to where you're located. And unless something does change, my dad should be with me, so come by and see me there. What was the dates? I didn't tell you guys the dates. I talked about it and didn't tell you when it is. Okay, it's October 6th through the 8th. I'll be there on October 6th and the 7th. I will not be there on the Sunday. So Friday and Saturday is when you can catch me. All right, friends, we're up here at the Wood-Mizer today. I got a Joe Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. If you want those blades, you know what to do. Call Joe. And also this month, it still is August. Let me make sure my days are getting run in between here. It's August 22nd. If you watch this video in the future, it won't pertain to you. So until August the 31st, is there 31 days in August or 30? I can't remember. Let's just call it to the end of August. That sounds a whole lot better. So to the end of August, Wood-Mizer is running a sale, double hard blades, free shipping, and also 15% off. And I think I'm telling you guys right. If I don't, I'll put it right here to correct myself. And they're not paying me to tell you guys about that. This isn't sponsored by Wood-Mizer. I'm just trying to save you sawyers out there some money who like double hard blades. And if you like the Joe Maine Silvertip Turbo 7s that I run, give Joe a call as well for those. So on the Sawmill, this is a customer log. It's cherry, but it does have one problem that I can see. All right, friends, real fast, let me check the diameter. Get a good hook right there. We're at 20.5 inches, so a good sized cherry log. There's actually two problems to this log. I told you wrong. Number one are all these end checks right here. There's a lot of cracks going on. Now, cherry will crack. We've talked about that on this channel a lot here lately with sawing up all this cherry we got in. But that right there is pretty bad in a log. And here's why that happened. This came from a construction company that was harvesting timber to clear off land to build a house. And they're not loggers. They clear land off just to get stuff out of the way so they can start digging footers. But they did identify some nice cherry. That's why they hired me to saw it and dry it. But this cherry laid at that site for a few months before it made its way over here. And it looked like this when they brought it in here. These checks are here because they did not put anchor seal on this log. If they would have put anchor seal on this log the day of or shortly after of it being harvested, I dare say a lot of these checks wouldn't be here right now. You may have some cracking right there in the pith and the juvenile core, but you wouldn't see these large checks right here. Some of them are 12 inches long right there. That's some really bad checking, which is not good in a high-grade cherry log because you don't know how deep that's going to go in, but hopefully it ain't going to be too bad. Now, that's not a knock against these guys who cut these down. They didn't know any better. A lot of people don't know about anchor seal, and if you're in the sawmill business, buy you some anchor seal. There's a link down below. I buy it by the gallon off Amazon. I found that's the cheapest place to buy it unless you want 5 gallons of it from UC Coatings, and that gets kind of expensive with the shipping, so I get it from Amazon, and a gallon usually lasts me a long time. But we are going to be grade sawing today, so I'm going to ignore these cracks. I'm not going to chase them and try to line them up with the boards because I'm grade sawing. I want the best face as wide as I could get it, because your best boards and grade sawing are right here just below the sapwood. And if I get a good wide board right here, maybe 12 inches wide, it's not going to run coplanar with these cracks, and that's okay, because if I chase these cracks and I line up my cuts with these cracks, there may be a knot over here or something you may catch right in the middle of a board. So when you grade saw, I don't pay attention to these cracks right here, and that's the way I like to do it. The second thing wrong with it is the length. All these cherry logs that came in, almost every one of them have been 8.5 feet long, and this one right here, guys, I can tell it's shorter just by looking at it. Yep, 7.5. That's going to mess up my stack when I stack these for air drying before they go into the kiln here in a few months. I'm going to have to make some little wedges on the end. That way I got my full length, so this matches all your other boards. That's one thing about sawmilling. If you're going to be stacking up wood for air drying and kiln drying, try to keep your lengths the same, because this right here will throw you off. It's really aggravating. Oh, and one more thing, two more things. A shout out to everybody on Patreon for supporting me here in the channel. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that are watching my lives every Sunday night. So if you don't know what's going on there, every Sunday night on this channel at 8 o'clock Eastern time, that's Tennessee time here, I do a live on the YouTube channel for about 45 minutes. I try to answer questions, and we got a good response from it. People get a lot of questions that come through. I try to answer maybe half of them. Sometimes I miss them because there's so much going on, but I do my best. So if you're not doing nothing on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, come by and pull up a chair and grab you a cup of coffee, even though it's going to be late at night, and watch the live with us and interact. All right, friends, in case you're wondering, it's now 91 degrees, getting pretty hot out here. I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing though, because I have a mess up here I've got to take care of. I've been meaning to do this for about 2 weeks, and it's getting out of hand. The chickens usually handle this for me, but for some reason, they're not doing their job. So right here, friends, is the compost pile, and it's hard to tell because it's covered in grass and weeds and all kinds of junk in there. I got my smaller pile right there. It's not too bad, but this large one over here is a mess. Usually the chickens get in here and turn this over for me, and they've been doing it here on this side just a little, but there for a few weeks they were all over this pile. And for some reason they have quit doing that, and it didn't take long for Mother Nature to reclaim it. So my plan is getting Mr. Cotto put the bucket on and I'm going to relocate this to another area. It's right here beside of a fence. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a fence right there. It's also covered in weeds. This place is a mess, friends. This year, I have really gotten behind on yard work. I just got no excuse for it. It's just been a bad year for yard work. But I think I'm going to relocate this to the middle of the garden area. That way I can get all the way around it when I want to turn it over. Because right here, it's just a bad place for it with that fence behind it. But rest assured, friends, Mr. Cotto will have no trouble relocating this pile about 15 feet on the other side of the fence. And if you're new to this channel, this area right over here, I know it looks like grass, that is usually our garden, but I skipped a garden this year. And I think I regretted it halfway through the season. I think next year I will have a garden again. I've had a garden every year that we've lived here, but for this year, I skipped it. I had a lot of other stuff going on. Next year, I'll get back on it. Well, friends, when it rains, it pours. Over there's the bucket. My trailer's in front of it, and guess what? I got a flat. I'll tell you what, I can't win today. If this goes as planned, I can get these forks and lift up his trailer and pull it out of the way. Well, that ain't gonna work. Get a better bite. Professional YouTuber here, friends. Watch and learn. Tell you what, I'm not sure where to start on this. I think I will stir it up just a little, and then we'll start taking it over to the garden. If I tear down this fence beside me, that's okay because it's going to be getting replaced this fall. All right, friends, that right there looks a whole lot better. Now, if the chickens don't come in here and turn it over like they're supposed to, I can get all the way around it with Mr. Cotto and keep it turned every few weeks. Not too bad, and that's not a permanent location. As you guys can see, this is where our garden usually is, and next year we'll have a garden. So I'll probably just keep it where it's at for right now, let it sit there all winter and age, and then next spring, right before tillage, spread it all over the ground up here. All right, guys, while I got the bucket on Mr. Cotto, I have one more thing I need to do right here beside the house. Let me show you. All right, guys, this right here is right behind the garage, and my wife has requested that we get rid of all these plants and just sow this in grass. So I'm gonna take the bucket, go down about maybe an inch or two and see if we can remove all the topsoil right there and the vegetation and do what she wants. Shouldn't take too long. All right, friends, I just had dinner. It's getting pretty late in the day, actually. What is it? It's 7:30. I think we'll go ahead right now, though, and get in the 754 and go grab some cherry so we'll have something to saw first thing in the morning. You guys hang in there. And I'm looking forward to sitting in this air-conditioned cab for the next few minutes. It's been a hot one today. Well, I guess we'll grab this one in the front. It looks like maybe a 9 or 10 footer. It's got a large bulge on the back side of it right there. I'm not sure what's going on with this log. Definitely a lot of taper. The side facing you guys is every bit of maybe 8 inches bigger on the diameter. It's pretty heavy. I can feel that one right there. It's a good sized cherry. Alright friends, here it is, and this right here, guys, is a massive log. The diameter on the operator's side right here is 30 inches. I didn't check it on the far end, but it is a lot smaller. But check it out, friends. This is a pretty unique cherry log. You've got the large end right there, and as it comes up, it bulges out right here on the side. You can see that right there. And then it kind of narrows down, or tapers is a better word. It tapers down that way. And to look over the crowbar, that's how I got it kind of braced in here on the loading arms. That's OSHA approved, in case you're wondering. Only the best production here at Out of the Wood Sawmill. But this right here, friends, is going to be a challenge. I'm still not sure how I'm going to saw this one up. How would you guys do it out there that are running Wood-Mizers? I'd be interested to know. You can see the top right there. You know, it runs straight, the grain runs straight this way, but right here, it comes off quite a bit for about half of the log. And it's right at, I think, 9.5 feet on the length. So I will probably take off 1 foot down here so it matches the rest of the cherry. But guys, I tell you what, this one's got me puzzled just a little. I'm really not sure how I'm going to saw this one up. All right, guys, I guess I'm done for the day. What is it now? A few minutes after 8 o'clock. By the time I go in and grab a shower and download all this footage and recharge all these batteries, I went through, I think, 9 GoPro batteries today with this heat. The camera just kept on dying. Hopefully this footage turned out though. But in closing, friends, I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to saw up that big cherry, and also here probably within the week, we're going to saw up that giant walnut log down there, guys. I got it ready. I just need to bring it up here. I need to decide if I'm going to use the track loader to bring it up here or the 754. I'm leaning more toward the track loader. I think it will have or I think it will have more stability rather than the 754 would on a log that size. I think that log weighs around 4,000 pounds. It's going to be a challenge. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.